purple on today.
Yeah.
He's a brave man.
Sometimes it's calls for it.
Have you got to see Saban?
Yeah, we actually did his radio show last night. Had a blast. He's as focused and as determined as I remember when I was playing for him. So it was excited to be there with him. And then he kind of played to the crowd. So it's fun to see him in both of those elements.
More intimidating as a player playing for him or a media guy?
Probably a player playing for him. Media, I think he's a little bit easy with me because he knows I'm gonna take care of him when I'm talking about it.
You were out part of it.
No, I left. I like watching football from the confines of my home with my feet up. Some Wingstop wings, preferably lemon pepper, and I can focus a little bit more when I'm not around 100,000.
What positives can they take from it, though, coming into one of the toughest places to play?
Well, I think being able to play in an adverse situation, 1-3 overtimes is difficult for any team to overcome, and I think the resiliency that they had in order to win the game and not letting the last play affect how they play the next play, which was impressive. And I think Kentucky is better than Kentucky of old. So I think people have to give credit to Mark Stoops and that program and give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they were tougher than people usually think they are, and Florida struggled in some areas against them.
You have a favorite Nick Saban as coach?
I used to fish at his house. It's more about his wife, Terry. I used to fish at his house, and we would go and have great days catching catfish out of his back pond. And one day it seemed like it dried up, and I told Miss Terry, I said, "What happened to the pond? Anything going on?" And she said, "No." She said, "What's going on?" I said, "Not catching any fish." And we got a famous seafood place in Baton Rouge called Tony's Seafood, and they sell live catfish from a catfish pond. She went and bought live catfish and put it in the pond for us, so we can start catching fish again. Now, granted, some of them were belly up when we got there, but we were able to get back on track.
Did you think you know it at all?
Well, he told us last night that he's toned it down a smidgen, and I said I wish I could have been around when you decided to tone it down. I think he's become more patient. Players have changed. They come in with different situations. We've seen the effect that social media has on recruiting, and also players being at universities and colleges. So I think he's changed with the times, and that's why he continues to have success. Not really. More about my weight than anything. He told me I would have to run. We did this terrible conditioning test before camp started, and he told me if I failed the test, I was going to have to run every day. So I blew the test out of the water, and he still came at me about my weight. And I said, "What do you want me to do? Just get down so I look good?" I said, "You enjoy looking at players that look good?" And he said, "No, I just need you to be at your best." I was like, "I'm going to be at my best, coach, but you need to leave me alone about my weight." And I got one of those private office visits.
Do you think the 3 overtime game for Florida is having any effect on them coming in a game against Alabama?
I don't know. I definitely not physically. These guys are young, and they've had enough time to recover. If anything, it puts them in a position to evaluate more film. A lot of overtime is situational football, and as a coach, you're always trying to approach situational football because usually it comes down to the end of the first half and the end of the game. Whichever team is more efficient and can make plays, that's who have success. So they'll have more film to evaluate. Now, it also gives Alabama more time to see what they do in crunch time situations. So it's effective for both teams, and I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Do you think that Kansas State showed the country how to shut down all the games?
I'm not sure about that. A lot of people have struggled. Coach Snyder at Kansas State has been relatively good every year on defense. I think he had a plan that he executed, and he gave sort of an idea about what to do. I know he had his guys playing fast. Anytime you're playing against read option offenses, I think you have to make those quarterbacks make decisions quick. And that helps you, and it's effective for a defense. And now going forward, people will probably try to use the same thing against him. And, Nick Marshall is going to have to be able to make big-time plays at the end of games. If it comes to that, he's going to have to win games throwing the football because people are going to force him to make earlier decisions when they run his own read option.
Last question.
To Coach Shaban, he kind of, for a lot of players, they come in like young boys, but then they come out as like men. Is that kind of the case where for you, did he really teach you and mold you into the person you are today, maybe?
He was part of it. I mean, he played a great role as far as me being productive. Not only in my NFL career, but also being able to move out of that. A lot of things that he taught me, I still carry until this day. But coach has a vested interest in you becoming a man when you get here, and he's going to find out early if you're willing to become a man. And I think it translates for guys after they leave wherever he's coaching at, and you see it time and time again with the amount of players that reference him in development and reference him in becoming better football players. And I think that's in the testament to what he tries to do with guys in football and outside of the field. And he surrounds you with a plethora of programs to mature you along as a young man off the field. So it's a credit to him and what he does with his staff.
Thank you, Mark.